Well, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Kitchen Table TCG. My name is Louie. I hope you have yourself a fantastic day. Today it's gonna be a little bit of a different video. I've never done a video like this. We'll see how you guys like it, how you guys do. Today we're gonna talk about Magic the Gathering eyeballs on content. We're gonna talk about you, the viewer. We're going to talk about content creators and where we are as content creators and what is happening in this kind of whole ecosystem. I'm going to tell you a little bit about finances and my kind of stuff that's going on and how this whole thing works. The number one currency in the world, I firmly believe this, and this is something that was brought up in the pandemic a lot, but the number one currency in the world right now is eyeballs, viewers on a screen. The amount of work that Apple and Google and whatever do, and Twitter and X and whatever do to continually get your eyeballs on the screen is absolutely insane. It is an absolutely insane thing. And lately, there's been a lot of conversation in the Magic the Gathering world about lack of viewership on videos. There's been a lot of conversation about content creators bummed out that they can't make it, that they can't do it. Rudy did a video about this. There's been a lot of conversation in the background amongst content creators of like, what is happening? Why is viewership down? Why doesn't anybody watch the videos? Why aren't we making any money? There's been a lot of this conversation in the ecosystem. And I want to weigh in on it because I think I disagree with mostly what everybody is saying. I think at the end of the day, I think I'm not surprised that we're in this world. And so I want to get into that a little bit. Magic the Gathering is a weird situation because when you are upset with Magic the Gathering, when you don't like things, typically what happens, the viewer will look for content that is negative, right? And negative content always performs better. That's across the board, every industry, every little thing. But the problem is, Magic the Gathering is going really well right now. Things are maybe the best that it's been certainly since the pandemic, but even before the pandemic, things are going really, really well for the sales of Magic the Gathering, for the playability of Magic the Gathering. The sets are exciting. People are excited about it. And the reality is that you, the viewer of Magic the Gathering content, is spending more time playing Magic the Gathering and engaging with Magic the Gathering in their LGS, at their kitchen table, at their house with their friends and their family, playing the new Bloomberg decks, getting excited about Duskmourn, talking in real circles, actually gathering, that you don't need this as much. And so then instead of spending your time viewing Magic content, you go and you play Magic the Gathering, which is great and it's awesome. And that's the way we should all want things to be. Let's get that out of the way. We should all want things to be going well, and for people to be enjoying the game. I think one of the problems with content, I'm not going to dig on any specific content creators, but I think one of the problems with content creation in 2024 is that everybody thinks it's going to be like what it was in 2021 in the pandemic. It was so easy. And listen, I did this. I'm talking about myself. It was so easy to make content in the pandemic. You weren't sacrificing much to make the content because you couldn't work, you couldn't go anywhere, you couldn't do anything. You were stuck in your house. And then the viewers who frankly could have done that were just sitting around at their house watching content. And so you had this weird ecosystem in the pandemic where creating content was so ridiculously easy and cost effective because you weren't giving anything up. You weren't sacrificing anything to make the content. And the viewership was crazy because as a Magic the Gathering player, you could not engage with the hobby at all. So what did you do? You engaged with the hobby by watching videos of people engaging in the hobby. This is where now we're in this world where you're not there. It costs you something to make content now. You have to give up your real life that could exist because there's no pandemic, and the viewers are too busy enjoying the game that they're not watching content. And so this is where the pivot happens, I think, where you get to see people who really want to make content and enjoy making content versus people who are just looking to generate income. And the reality is, I mean, I started this channel in the pandemic. I had the good pandemic growth. We pivoted the channel from other games to Magic the Gathering, kind of post-pandemic, that kind of stuff happened. We've had some growth on the channel. I'm at 45,000 subscribers. We're on there, or whatever. And the value of this channel still brings in less than minimum wage. Like, I want you to understand that. If I put, this channel generates around $900 to $1,000 in ad revenue, which I put that's a month. I put far more than 30 hours a week into the channel, making videos and doing channel related things. And so like that is, you will not be able to replace your job creating Magic the Gathering content. It doesn't exist. That ability doesn't happen. What can happen is that you add value outside of the channel, and that the channel aims to be a way to continue to add value outside. That's why I have my Discord server with the gold wizards. You can get product at cost, plus the credit card fees and shipping. We create a community where you run sales. We do that kind of stuff. I have the store. There's this whole thing is connected that makes making content different. It adds value to the content creation side of this. And if you're a content creator who thinks that you can just make content and replace your job in Magic the Gathering, the eyeballs just aren't there. And they weren't even there in the pandemic, first of all. But there's just not enough people absorbing Magic the Gathering TCG content to make that viable. I mean, really, you have one or two big creators that could maybe do that, or maybe already do that. But other than that, I think it's really, really difficult to run just creating content in this world. And so when I see the negativity about views, I think it's very much connected to this idea of, well, what are you really adding in value? I don't really feel the weight of lower viewership. I selfishly love watching my channel grow. It's like it's an addiction. I don't care about the money. I care, like, the addiction is watching the numbers grow, building something for myself and building something for my family, and seeing this whole thing morph from zero to where it is now has been incredible. Thank you to YouTube Shorts, which we're gonna get to in a second. But seeing the channel grow has been, it's addicting. And let's go to YouTube Shorts now, because I don't want to harp on that. The other thing that's happened is that content has become so short form. The viewers don't, you may care about videos like this because you're still watching 7 minutes into a video, but I don't know, how did I do? I can't see the screen. I'm guessing I'm 7 minutes in. You're still watching. You care about long form content, but the average viewer is just swiping. I mean, Twitter and whatever have gotten us to a point where all we care is the short form content, which then makes it really hard to add value. It's much more difficult to add value to a viewer in a 45-second video. The guess a card, win a cards, they don't add value to the end user. They are just entertainment, right? So it's much more difficult to add value to these things, which makes content creation even harder to replace your income, because it's just, how do you add value in 45 seconds? How do you make videos that engage the audience to want to follow along with the viewer when you have their attention for 45 seconds? It just doesn't work. But that's also the only way to grow a channel right now. So it's just a real weird kind of thing. The last thing I want to say is the negativity. Everybody loves negativity, man. And at the end of the day, I don't think that you can build, maybe you can build a brand around negativity and around that kind of whole thing. I think that gets old pretty quick. This channel aims to provide just authentic commentary on what's going on in the TCG world. Frankly, I started this channel because I wanted to talk about TCGs in the pandemic, and my wife didn't want to hear it anymore. So I was like, I'm just going to start a YouTube channel, and then I can talk to a camera and throw my thoughts out there. And like, that's where the it's hard to be negative about Magic right now. You got to really try to be negative. I try some days to like think really critically about Magic, but at some point, like you're just gonna have to understand that the viewership's gonna be down because people don't want to watch positive content. That doesn't mean you don't make positive content because you want to be authentic. And so my philosophy on creation has just been like, talk about whatever I want to talk about how I'm feeling, and like, don't worry about the views as much. So yeah, I don't know. The negativity right now, to wrap this up, I don't know what this video is. It's just a conversation about it because it's been happening a lot in the community. I think at the end of the day, if you want to create a YouTube channel, the desire for the channel should be just to engage this as a hobby. This is a great hobby. If you can make a couple videos a week, grow your channel, do some shorts, bring in some extra income, $400 or $500 a month extra income of people watching, you can really fund your hobby, right? You can fund your Magic the Gathering collection by doing that. And I think that's great. I think it's awesome. I think it's really, really hard to be in TCG content creation and replace your salary and replace your income. It requires you to have some level of sales. It requires you to have some level of business connected to it. I think that's the only way to really do it, to be honest. Those are my thoughts. So anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section. I don't know, maybe this video will do bad. Who knows? Hopefully you have yourself a great day. Be kind to the people around you. Go watch some Magic content.